Well, welcome. I'd like to welcome everybody here today. We're in a joint conference here, group to be able to bring out a Mississippi seafood labeling law that will take effect on 1 July 2025. I'm Joe Spraggins. I'm the Executive Director for the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources, and I have Commissioner Gibson with me from Commissioner of Ag. And together we are going to enforce this law that has been put together by legislators. It will basically, we'll give you a little bit of overview about the House Bill 602 and the benefits of 602 and how we're going to implement it. And we'll also talk about what we're going to do for its health and safety. Once again, I see Senator Seymour is here. I saw him. So I don't know if there's any other legislators here. But House Bill 602 was passed to give consumers the opportunity to make informed choices about the seafood that they purchase and support domestic industries. On July the 1st, 2025, the law requires labeling of either import or domestic on all seafood and crawfish sold in Mississippi. This requirement applies to all vendors, including but not limited to wholesalers, processors, retailers, such as grocery stores, seafood markets, and food services establishments such as restaurants and even food trucks. They got to be labeled either domestic, and domestic means if it's harvested, raised, and processed in the United States of America. So it has to be harvested, and or it has to be raised, or it has to be processed. For import, if it's harvested, raised, and or processed in the United States. So even though it's brought into the United States and processed here, it will still be an import. All right. If domestic products is you can't mix them. In other words, you can't put something in there and half of it be domestic and half of it be import. It all has to be labeled as import at that time. Labels must be visible. We want them to be able to be seen. They have to be at least the size of what the product is, so you can be able to see what it is on the product itself. If you're only offering domestic, then you can sale of seafood. Then you may clearly, visibly put that somewhere in your process or your business or whatever, and then you don't have to have anything else. And that's what we want. If we can have that, that's what we want. We want you to put domestic. And if everything that you sell is domestic, then we don't have any problems. We're doing great. But we're going to have a formation of a seafood task force, and they will be together, and it will be a study, to make recommendations on what we can do in the future. This was a bill that was put together, and as soon as we get it all in operation, then once we do that, then we will also be working on finalizing it for the next 2 years to be able to see what we can do to be able to get it more detailed as to what we need to put on it. We'll be able to develop a label. I know the commissioner's got a sign about label for catfish. Well, we'll have a label for our seafood and everything else, so you'll be able to do that too, but we don't have it at this time. But we'll get recommendations on what we need to do, and the committee will be someone from the governor's office. It'll be either myself or someone from my office. It'll be the commissioner or someone from his office, the executive director of Gaming Commission or someone from his office, a representative from the Restaurant Association, a director of tourism or their designee, and either a valid commercial fisherman appointed by the governor and a seafood/shrimp processor appointed by the governor. What will House Bill 602 do? It will help the consumer. It will help you, the ones that's going out to buy the food every day, whether you're buying it in the market, whether you're buying it on the street, whether you're buying it in the restaurant. You know what you're getting. You will know if you're getting American or if you're getting something else. And if it's domestic, you can pretty much count that it's been tested and everything about it is pretty good. If it came out of the Gulf of America, you can almost guarantee it's the best you can ever get in the world. And so that's what we're looking for. You don't know what's come, when these products come in from other countries and all, you have no idea how they were raised, how they were processed, or anything about them. So, they, as far as the quality, as far as their safety and all, you have no idea what you're getting there. So try to make sure that you understand this. We're going to implement this starting in July 1st, 2025, and our inspectors and everything. I will have our Marine Patrol, some of them in the back there. We'll have them, and I also we have a division in the Department of Marine Resources that does inspections. So we'll do that. We're going to give you an idea. If you're a first-time violator, we're going to give you a little bit of warning. We'll walk in and tell you that you got a problem here. You don't have it labeled correctly, and we'll give you 3 days to fix it. If you can fix it, then we won't have a problem at all. We'll get it back, and we're not telling you that you can't serve imported seafood. We just want you to tell us that it is imported, because everybody who walks into South Mississippi any part of Mississippi needs to know that they're getting what they're paying for. So that's what we want you to do. The first violation after that will cost you between $500 and $1,000, and the second one $1,000 to $2,000. The third one will be anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000, and the fourth one can go no less than $10,000. So hopefully we don't have to get to that point with anyone. We don't want to put you in jail. We don't want to stop your business. We want you to sell domestic seafood. We want you to tell us that you are selling domestic or foreign, and that's what we're after. So if you can tell, all you have to do is say, we're either selling domestic, or we're selling foreign, or we're selling a combination. And we're okay with that. But just make sure you're doing it. But please buy, and please request, when you go anywhere, I want Gulf of America seafood. Gulf of America seafood is the best seafood in the world. We were seafood capital for a long time, and we're going to get back there. And with the help from our Commissioner Gibson and his group, we're going to be able to do that. And I tell you what, we appreciate you. I want to first off turn it over to the Commissioner and let him talk a little bit about what the Commissioner of Ag is going to do, and then we'll take questions at the end. Commissioner?
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, General.
And make seafood American
again.
Get my hat on.
That's good. That's good. Thank you, General. Thank you. Let's give the General a great big thank you for the great work he's done. And we wear a lot of different hats at the Department of Ag and Commerce. We do a lot of work, and one of the things that we're proudest of is the work that we do, not only supporting our farmers, but supporting our consumers and making sure consumers have the information that you need to make good purchasing decisions. So when the General Spraggins came to me, the end of last year, middle of last year, 24, and the legislative delegation here on the coast, and asked if we would be willing to partner with them, I didn't have to think twice about it. We want to be a very valuable and strong partner in making seafood American again. I'm proud of that. It's something that is in our DNA. And just by way of example, for over a decade now, we at the Department of Ag and Commerce have been enforcing this catfish marketing law. And so anyone who goes into a restaurant in Mississippi who sees this beautiful sign, it says, "We proudly serve U.S. farm-raised catfish," well, you know that that's healthy, safe, farm-raised. As a matter of fact, it says at the bottom, U.S. farm-raised catfish, safety you can trust. It's a matter of consumer safety and consumer health and protection. By the way, Mississippi is #1 in catfish. I'm really proud of that. So just a reminder to all of the folks out there, if you go to a catfish restaurant, our seafood restaurant, and they're serving catfish, you want to look for this sign, U.S. farm-raised catfish. And we're taking the very same concept now and applying it to seafood. So consumers now going into a seafood restaurant will be able to know if they're buying U.S. Gulf of America seafood. When they see the word domestic, that means it's American. It's local. And we know the safety protocols, the processing, the very important regimen of testing and making sure these are safe products. When you walk into a restaurant and you don't see that U.S. farm-raised fish or that U.S. Gulf of America seafood sign, you better be asking some questions like, where did this fish come from? Where did it come from? It may have come from Vietnam, raised in a septic tank, in a sewer system somewhere. We have no idea the type of handling, the method of production that these foreign products are being dumped in our communities, and they're not safe, and we don't recommend them. But the good news about this new law is when you walk into a restaurant or your grocery store or retailer, you're going to get to see it's either domestic U.S. Gulf of America seafood or it's imported. And as the General mentioned, if it's a combination, it's going to say imported. So you have the right to know that. You will get to know that. You have the right, and you will be able to understand that in making purchasing decisions starting the 1st of July. We could not do what we do at the Department of Ag and Commerce without our excellent staff, and I have many of them here today. In our regulatory division, you can wave at us when I call your name, but our Director of Bureau of Regulatory Services, Jennifer Thompson. Wave at us, Jennifer. Jennifer's been doing this as well as catfish and the country of origin labeling regulations for many, many years. And so this is nothing new to us, but it is an important development as we work toward safe and healthy U.S. seafood. Henri Fuselier, Director of Consumer Protection. Henri, thank you for being here today. Gary Cushman, who is our Consumer Protection South Mississippi Supervisor. Thank you. Sarah Broom, Consumer Protection Inspector. Michael Daly, Consumer Protection Inspector. Thank you all. Paige Manning, our Director of Marketing and Governmental Affairs, and Claude Nash, our Deputy Director, and also our Genuine Mississippi Media Team, Hannah East, Katie Sansing, Taylor Crosby. Thank you for all being here today. This is an important step, and it's a critical step in the future of the seafood industry. Reports in America lately that I have read are that as much as 85% of our seafood that's eaten in this country is imported. It's foreign. We've seen a trade deficit in America that we've not seen ever really since COVID, and the dumping of these foreign imported seafood products on our people are something that is really unprecedented, and it has been a tremendous threat to the survival of the seafood industry. So we're proud to partner with not only DMR in protecting the consumers and making sure people know what you're buying, make sure you know that you're buying U.S. Seafood and when you buy at the restaurants or at the stores, but we're also part of helping protect, and we hope to revive the seafood industry here on the Gulf Coast. It's very important. It's part of who we are as Mississippians, so thank you for letting us be a part of that. This new law does provide for signage. A way to comply with the law is to put a sign up. If you're buying domestic and you're selling only domestic, put that domestic seafood sign up. You comply with the law. We have a philosophy at the Ag Department that we like to educate before we regulate. So if you're a restaurant owner or a retailer, we'll be putting out, and the General will, the DMR will be putting out guidelines and information about how to comply with this. But for the consumers, you want to look for that sign for domestic U.S. seafood, Gulf of America seafood. I think that the benefits of this law, not only to protect the consumer, but also our seafood industry, bringing back local seafood, it's critical for a lot of reasons, but it's also part of what we've started with a new campaign we're calling Make Mississippi Healthy Again. It's important that we learn to eat healthy again as Americans, and making Mississippi healthy again begins on a farm in Mississippi with all the great products that we have. And here on the Gulf Coast, healthy, fresh, local seafood that you know was handled safely, that you know was processed safely, that is free of disease and contaminants. And when you eat domestic U.S. seafood, you're eating healthy, and you're going to be a healthier person with healthier outcomes. So, General, I want to thank you. I told you we wear a lot of different hats. So, I'm going to take off this hat, and I'm going to put on proudly this hat right here. All right? Let's make Seafood American again. Thank you all. God bless you. Appreciate you, General. We look forward to partnering with you and your team. It's going to be a great, great partnership, and we thank you for all your work on this.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. And once again, if there's any questions, we'll be glad to take those at this time.
That's right. Any questions?
You must have done a good
on the
job.
Seafood, you did a great job. It's a partnership.
Well, one other thing too, as the commissioner mentioned, this is something that's going to keep our people in the Mississippi working and being able to do the things that they've done for the last 10,000 years. If we say, I don't know how long Mississippi's been here, but it's been there a long time. Right. But I know it's a couple hundred years there, and so it's something that we'll be able to do. And our shrimpers and our oystermen and our fishermen can go out and actually do this for a living and make a decent living by doing it. So please buy Gulf of America seafood.
I love that. Gulf of America seafood. Domestic, U.S. Gulf of America seafood. That sounds like a great brand.
It does.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for coming today. God bless. Thank you. Thank you. All right. It's going to be great.
Commissioner.
Thank you. I think we got the message out. Thank you. I like my hat. Can I keep your can? You like my hat?